What is happening, y'all? So, I had missed UFC 196, was it last night?
Yep.
And Aiva just came over to discuss it with me, and I literally just got done watching it. I watched Home and what's her name? Home and
Tate
and McGregor
versus
Diaz, right? Okay. So, when I got home last night from the club, I checked Yahoo News and I was like, get the fuck out of here. I was like, both champs lost. Both champs just got the belt. What the fuck? Then my boy posted this morning that Dana White wasn't going to let Home get the, Home get the rematch. He was going to make it for Ronda Rousey and Tate, and I'm sitting there like, what the fuck? She beat Tate twice, which is interesting, and then Tate beat her. I'm like, I'm all over the place with this shit. So let's start talking about it, man. Let's ladies first.
All right.
You're the fighter here. Let me know what the fuck happened. How did she lose?
Well, basically, Holly Holm, you guys know she's a world-class striker. She beat Ronda Rousey. Pretty much made it look easy.
Yes, she did.
And let me tell you something about her fight style against Ronda Rousey. Styles, it kind of matched up really bad for Ronda. Because you guys know Ronda Rousey, she starts fast and she attacks. And if you guys don't know Holly Holm, she's a boxer and a kickboxer. Okay. And for kickboxing and boxing, you have to be a good counter fighter. Guess what? When you have somebody coming at you, she's a counter fighter. And look what happened. Every time Ronda tried to come close to her, what happened? She gets tagged when she's chasing her. And look what happened. That one punch she tried to hook, she ducked right underneath. She looked like her legs just gave out on her. And I'm sure you guys, everybody seen the highlights of that.
She broke her leg. And I was like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah, man. And just pretty much, and she got a kick to the face and put her to sleep. And that's what happened. She's a counter fighter. In this case, Miesha Tate, I think she's a more well-rounded fighter than Ronda. Okay. And she brought more to the table when she fought against Holly Holm. Even Greg Jackson even admitted. It's a little bit more of a complete fighter than Ronda was. Okay? But don't get me wrong, Ronda did a lot for the sport. You got to give her credit. She took the sport to a whole new level and made it mainstream. But let's break down the fight. This fight, Holly Holm had to press the fight versus Miesha Tate pressing. So you guys understand. Now she became the oppressor, and Miesha was just waiting. She was timing. She just buying her time, being patient, and that's what she did. Okay. And you guys know the first round went to Holly Holm. Second round, clearly Miesha Tate took that. You guys watched it.
Saved her but the bell. Saved by the bell.
Exactly. Man. Took her down to the ground, and I even said it. If this went to the ground, Miesha Tate had the advantage. She has the wrestling background, and she has the ground skills to get the job done. Like what I said, Tyrone, saved by the bell.
So do you say the same thing about Ronda? It's kind of like if it did go to the ground, if she was able to get her to the ground.
If she fought her on her back. You know what I mean? So that would be a good predicament. It makes sense to me for that fight to happen. Okay. Even though everybody's upset that Holly's not getting it, I think to me it makes sense. I want to see that rematch. I think it's a learning curve for Miesha. So now, and I think it'd be a good fight for Ronda coming back.
Yeah, I was telling him earlier, I said, wouldn't it be crazy if Ronda came back and beat Tate and then beat Holm? I'll be like, whoa, okay, that's cool. That'll rub that out for her, you know what I mean? And she can continue on. So either way,
it's going to be a good fight.
Either way, it's good.
It's good for the UFC, financial-wise, and also good for the fight fans.
Yeah.
So both it's a win-win situation for everybody, just not for Holly Holm at the moment.
Right.
But you got to give her credit.
Holm's going to get the chance to take it.
She definitely will.
Ronda beats Tate.
Like I say, she's in a whole world of strike game, man. Her strike is on point. Her striking skills. But anyways, getting back. So the third round came in. Holly Holm was doing her thing, kicking Miesha Tate and trying to create that distance with that side kick. You guys seen that she was getting kicked in the stomach and just trying to keep the distance from her, so keeping Miesha Tate from holding her and bringing her down. So third and fourth round definitely went to Holly Holm. Then even the last round, the first 3 minutes of that fight, I still gave it to Holly Holm until the very last minute or so. And you guys seen when she was cutting angles, she's moving back in her circle pattern. Then she finally grabbed her, spun her around, took her down, used her whole body to drag her down. And that's what was the ending for Holly that night. Once she got that back, and once she secured her back, and the worst thing you could do when you're getting rear naked chokehold is trying to stand up, and what she did. Plus, and trying to flip her over is the worst thing, because you guys know gravity. You flipping somebody, all that weight's gonna go forward, and guess what? What happened when you flip forward the body weight? Your neck pops up, boom, sank the choke even deeper. And you know what? She choked her out, and I gotta give credit to Holly Holm. Listen, she has a heart of the champion. She refused to give up that belt. She ended up going to sleep. As you could tell. Here you go.
I was like, wow, 1, 2.
You know what? Like I said, you got to congratulate Miesha Tate on a great fight, man.
I give her that. That's balls for not tapping.
She has a heart of the champion. That's respect right there, man. Willing to fight all the way to the bitter end, Wasn't willing to give up that belt. Miesha had to go in there and take it.
She didn't tap, but McGregor did.
Yeah.
Let's get to that now.
I know. Wow.
Now, I watched their little press conference and shit talking session. I was like, wow, these dudes hate each other. This is some good shit. Like, you just want to get some popcorn and watch these dudes talk shit all day. You got McGregor and Diaz, he talks like a guy I know. Or he just talks shit like a guy that I worked with. He sound like a bagger at Walmart that ain't beat for this job no more. Like, I'll punch you the fuck out and then clock the fuck out. Like, he's funny. He's down to earth, man. And if I would have lost all of my money last night, because I would have bet on Holm and I would have bet on McGregor, and I was totally wrong for both. Now him, I don't know if he would have bet money, but he did tell me that if it stayed standing, McGregor.
McGregor was faster. I didn't say he was gonna win.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was just gonna be faster on his feet. But
he told me Diaz has like these incredible submissions that he's put people in. So
let's get to that fight. Okay, the first round, McGregor was quick. He's still, doing his thing, shows no respect in the ring, doing his showboating and doing his spin kicks, even though he's like kicking air.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So really, like wasting energy. But he was tagging Diaz with some hard punches. And you guys know, by the end of the first round, you could see the marks on Diaz's face. His face is bleeding. Yeah. You saw that. He's tagging him up. Then second round comes up. Now, this time, Diaz, he's a slow start fighter, okay? He starts really slow. Every fight, he starts slow. Then he starts to pick up as soon as he starts, like, getting into his zone, his groove. Then he's still taking punches from McGregor. Then, you could tell McGregor's winded. You could tell, okay?
I started to notice that shit, man.
He was winded. You could see he's dropping his hands, getting sloppy. He just doesn't look as fresh. Look in his face. That look, I was like, whoa, what's going on here? And he let me know that he came up in weight to fight him. I didn't know that. And let me tell you, with that one thing being said, you're going from 145. You're supposed to fight at 155, but still want to take the fight at 170. Diaz were really smart because he only had 10 days, short notice. There's no way in hell you could cut that much weight in 10 days and not be drained.
Okay.
It would have been a different story if he would have fought at 55. At least both of them will feel the effects. You know what I mean? So it would have been like a fair playing game. But, Nate Diaz was smart. I'm already I can't drop 15 pounds. 15 pounds is a lot. You're dropping from 170, dropping down to 155. That would kill you trying to weight cut. You would have been drained. And, this fight would have went differently if that would have happened.
He could have did it. He could have just water fasted. That'll drop it. But he'd have been weak. Trust me. I know. I've done water fasts.
and I tell you, it hurts. It sucks. But
10 days. He could have lost like 20 pounds in 10 days if he wanted to. But
but the weak feeling. Yes.
Yeah.
You'll be sick to your stomach. Weak as I don't know what. Then second round came. McGregor. You could tell he's just winded. Started throwing punches. He was quick in the first 20 seconds. After the 20 seconds, Nate Diaz started to pick up the pace, start tagging him. He started dropping his hands. Now McGregor can't even lift up his hand. Exactly. Then he caught him with a few solid punches with those jabs, and he hooked him, check hooked him. Then all of a sudden, McGregor felt it. He just wobbled, and that's it. Diaz went in for the kill. Like what I said, Diaz has some hands on him, boy. Like what I said, his hands are official. All right? And pretty much when he started tagging him, and keep in mind, this guy's already 170 pounds. Imagine those 170 pounds hand touching you.
Yeah.
And like what I said, McGregor's not used to that weight. And like what I always say, you go from 145 to 155, your body's not ready for that. There's no muscle memory. So he's exerting himself the first round, throwing all those punches. Those punches he was throwing was pretty much heavy hand. He's trying to knock Nate out. And all of a sudden, you seen what happened. He just exhausted himself out. You could tell. And now he's trying to wrestle the wrestler and the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guy. And pretty much it. That was a wrap for him, man. Once he got him to the ground, you know,
off me.
He tapped out, choked him out, rear naked chokehold. And I'll explain something. Nate Diaz's bread and butter is jiu-jitsu, but it's his hands helps him to get those guys on the floor, to choke them out. That's why majority of his fights, he's always choking somebody out because his hands do all the work to get him down to the floor.
Okay.
And that's what happened tonight. And McGregor took a high-risk, high-reward fight, even though he lost. But now he's going back to the drawing board. I think he should just stick to the 145 and just be king there, because when he hits people down there at 145, they feel those punches.
Okay.
He's hitting a dude that's 170. He's not feeling it. You can see he's kept walking forward, taking those punishment. Nate Diaz was just taking it. Yeah, even though his face didn't, you know.
His face didn't look like it, but yeah.
Interesting fight. A lot of people lost money. And big money.
I told him today, a whole bunch of people getting their legs broken.
Hey, you're betting on the odds.
A whole lot of people owe money today.
And let me tell you, the odds on Diaz was negative, I think 300.
Oh my God.
And that's how bad the odds was. And so whoever bet on Diaz last night won. If they put a lot of money, they won tons of money that night. That was a cha-ching night.
I lost everything.
That's pretty much it.
Alright, y'all. So I told y'all he knows his shit. Post all your comments down below. Let me know what you all thought. Make sure you follow and subscribe Aiva on his gaming channel, where he also does reviews on UFC and other stuff. Continue to let him know what y'all want to hear from him, and it'll help his channel evolve into greatness.
There's going to be a lot of upcoming fights, so I'm going to be reviewing them before it happens, and I'm going to talk about the fighter breakdowns too. So, the big fights coming up: DC versus John Jones.
Okay.
All right, we got Luke Rockhold versus Chris Weidman rematch. So the rematch and a rematch. Then you got Demetrius Johnson versus Henry Cejudo. Those are going to be another fight. Then you have Dominic Cruz. Dominic Cruz versus Faber. This is their number. This is going to be a third time they're fighting. So it's 1-1. So yeah. So now this is going to be like the breaker, the tiebreaker.
The tiebreaker, as usual. So make sure you, like I said, go follow the man. You can see he knows what he's doing. 1 million subscribers. Woo!